Welcome back to Why We Buy It, and this is another one for my watch enthusiasts, and it was actually inspired by a couple of different watch Facebook groups that I'm a part of. And that's because the same question kept coming up, right? And that's, what watches do you bring with you on vacation? Seemed like a perfect thing to make a video about for us because we travel a lot, and we cover our travel on this channel, of course, and I also cover my watches because I'm a watch enthusiast. So putting the two together and deciding which ones I take with me on vacation seemed like a pretty good video to do. But even though I only have 6 watches in my collection, and those of you that follow the channel will know that, I keep it to 6 watches. Occasionally it may go up as high as 8, but that's when I have a couple of watches kind of in line to be sold or given away. But generally speaking, I keep my watch collection to 6, but even with just 6 watches, it's not easy picking which ones I want to bring with me. And I usually bring 3, so half my collection will come along for the ride. But which ones I take, there's a lot of factors that go into it, right? And the first of which, honestly, is how long I'll be away. Because I'm away for a very long time. When I say very long time, I'm talking over a couple of weeks. I don't like letting my mechanical, manual wind watches sit for too long. I really don't. And in some cases, we'll have somebody watch the house, and I can ask them to, wind it every couple of days, but it seems like something people would forget to do unless they are watch enthusiasts, to be honest. So if we'll be away for a while, I bring my mechanical wind with me. Now, I only have one, so it's not that difficult to include. The next thing that factors in for me, honestly, is the weather and where I'll be going. It's very important because if I'm going to be somewhere where I intend to do some snorkeling, some diving, hang out on the beach, is it going to be very rainy there? Then I want my waterproof watches to be part of the inclusion, right? The more waterproofing, the better. A watch like this, right, my Alpina Pilot's watch, which if you haven't seen the video, I did a whole review on this watch and why I think is one of the more interesting pilot watches out there, but it only has your standard 30 meters of water resistance, which is, okay for rain, but really nothing else. So if it's going to be very rainy or I'm going to be on a beach, I plan on doing some swimming or diving or whatever, then I won't include this watch. I won't, because it's already ticked off the list for all of those activities. And I don't want to bring a watch with me I'm not going to wear. What's the point, right? The next thing that factors in is, will I be having any fancy dinners, any fancy nights out, going to any special functions? Because if I am, I'm going to want to include a dress style watch. And that's not that hard for me. I've got 2 truly dress style watches, I would say, plus another one that is a dress diver, which would be my Rattle Captain Cook that easily you can wear with a suit. So having one of those included in the group of 3 I take with me, it's not a hard decision to make. And then the next thing, and this applies to me and maybe not everybody, but I like to match my watches to my outfits. I'm one of those guys that likes to match a leather belt and leather band together, that sort of thing. So in some cases, I'll bring a watch, but on top of that, I'll bring a couple of additional straps. That's how far I go, right? I'll match certain straps to certain outfits and make the change while I'm there. Luckily, the majority of my straps are quick release. They're very easy to change on the fly, so that's something I consider. And it kind of turns the 3 watches I bring into maybe 6 watches, depending on the number of straps I bring. That's kind of how I see it. If you're looking for a inexpensive way to increase your watch collection, buy new straps. Don't buy new watches. If you're just feeling that itch, but you don't want to spend too much money, buy straps. You can take an old watch and make it new again by doing so. But that factors in. And then the other thing that really factors in for me, and this is probably the most important of all, really, is how many time zones will I be crossing, right? Am I going to one location, I'll be there the whole time, or is this a cruise where I'm going from time zone to time zone to time zone? If that's the case, I like to bring watches that are very easy to adjust to the local time. That's why I tend to bring my Casio Oceanus, the T200, which I've also done a video for on this channel. Most of the time I go traveling. Majority of the time it comes with me because I just set my phone to whatever the local time is, and the watch itself automatically switches to that time. I don't have to continuously adjust it, right? It becomes the default watch for any traveling I do that covers a number of time zones. So quite often it comes with me. It's probably my most traveled watch amongst the group outside of my Casio Duro. And the reason the Casio Duro comes along a lot, and I've mentioned this in a previous video, is because one, it's inexpensive, right? If I'm going somewhere sketchy, I can wear the Casio Duro, and if someone robs me, it's not a big loss. Two, it's got 200 meters of waterproofing, so I can take it pretty much anywhere, right? Three, it isn't expensive, so if I want to do something, potentially damaging like rock climbing or something like that, it gets scratched up, I don't mind, right? For all these reasons, that Casio Duro has come along with me on a lot of different trips. And four, it's the gilt version, right? So it's actually somewhat dressy even. So it can begin your day on a beach and end your day at a fancy dinner, and it doesn't lose a step along the way. So that's why it's a very popular watch for me. But on this next trip I'm going on, I'm kind of torn as to what I should bring with me. Right? We're going to Sweden. I've checked the weather reports. It's going to be quite rainy. I think that might leave this out. Right? We're not going to be doing any diving or anything like that, swimming or the like, so I don't really need a dive watch. It's unnecessary, but I want something with a little bit of water resistance. I'll be visiting family there. I'm sure we'll be going out a few times, so I do need something dressy that's going to make the cut. But what's really got me sort of thinking it or overthinking it is while I'm there, I want to visit a couple of micro brands, right? If I get the opportunity, I want to stop at a couple of micro brand locations, check out what they have. And when I'm going there, it's like I kind of want to wear a watch that suits the occasion. Do I want to wear another micro brand? Do I want to wear something fancy? Do I want to just wear something interesting? But something that'll spark a conversation with the people that are there about not only their watch, but my watch as well. Something that we can kind of come together on despite our cultural or language differences. Let me know what you would bring along on a trip like that. It's only just a little over a week. Not going to be on very long. What will be your choice out of your collection? Put them in the comments. And if you haven't yet, and 95% of you haven't, subscribe to the channel. Support the channel. Give us a chance. Click the notification bell. I'm certain you're going to enjoy some of the future videos we've got planned. Until next time.